Anybody out there? Oh man, welcome to another live episode of Let's Talk Reef. Guys, thank you for joining us. It's the middle of the summer, so if you're here and not out enjoying the weather, really appreciate it. It's August and it is beautiful outside, but we all still love our reefs, so we're here and joining you for another episode. We're gonna have some fun. We got Paul here.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Straight up this time, we're gonna talk about some fun stuff here with Paul right out of the gate. So we wanted to bring him in early. I'm gonna go down through the list of all the cool things we're gonna do here. First and foremost, always, we're thanking you guys. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for joining us. We've got, we're working up on 50 people here right now into the live stream, and we just kicked it off. So super huge thanks to all of you guys. First thing, kind of housekeeping to go to. Let's see, here is, boom, where's the next show? Overplay. Oh, okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, so if you guys don't know, if it's your first time here, I saw somebody came in through here, said this is the first time he was catching it live. We're every other Tuesday unless something comes up. And the shows generally last about an hour, so it's not too much out of your day. It is more fun to catch them live. So the next one we're going to have is on August 20th.
Right.
We're going to have Kevin Cohen from Live Aquaria here.
That's great.
It's pretty exciting. Kevin Cohen, if you don't know, he is the head of liveaquaria.com. Mm-hmm. And this is a company who provides some of the best livestock in the industry. In fact, some of the livestock that they have, it's like preconditioned, like already ready to go. Mm-hmm. They won't tell you not to quarantine it, but pretty much it's been quarantined already.
I mean, Diver's Den, right? It's a place that, when I was a beginning hobbyist, right, I was on there maybe multiple times a day looking at the coulda, shoulda, wouldas kind of thing.
Well,
right?
I know that's Brad out in Utah. He has, the refresh thing. He was always into the wrasses back in the early 2010s. Mm-hmm. And so Brad would be out there. Brad, you know who we're talking about. He'd be hitting the refresh all the time.
Right.
And I know I catch myself all the time going, what's the most expensive fish right now in Diver's Den? I sort by high to low.
I always sort pricing high to low. I will always go to Fishes at least once or twice a week. Right,
yeah.
To see what's cool on there. I have alerts set up on some, I'm really into weird.
Oh, you really are geeked out.
I am into weird gobies, right? And so, I have a couple of alerts set up on crypto.
I like how they put together the the pairs and stuff. So you can get
Yeah.
like trios and pairs and paired up shrimps with the fish, so that the pistol shrimp are already paired up with the goby. But we're gonna have Kevin here, so you guys get ready, ask your questions here. So I'll have them for the next time. If you guys think of something, go ahead and put it on this live stream. Or after the fact, and we're going to have them here. It's going to be, I think, a pretty cool episode.
Yeah, you can message us anytime during the week so we can kind of stack it up. You can put it in here today. The more questions we have for Kevin, the more information we're going to get out of him. I think he's going to go over a little bit of automation and stuff that he's doing.
Well, I think we're going to talk a little bit about that. He's got some stuff going on at their facility. I think we'll probably get into some general husbandry kinds of questions.
Awesome.
Probably talk to him about some expensive fish, because people always want to hear about that.
Yeah.
But certainly get your questions in, and I'll try to see which ones I can put forth to him, and obviously come to the live stream. So the next thing is the questions. Obviously, got that. Now the big thing is swag. Okay, so last week we told you I look at the last, I think, 15 minutes of every of both on Facebook and on YouTube to see the questions that come in, and then we randomly choose somebody from that 15 minutes.
Yep.
And we've got a couple of people this week.
Let's see here.
You read the first one.
So from YouTube, we have John Del Monte.
Yeah, John Del Monte, okay, or
T.
Del Monte, just like the vegetables, I guess. John, you are getting a Believe t-shirt. So send in your size and all your contact info, your mailing address to sales@neptunesystems.com, and we'll get that out to you. The other lucky person came from Facebook, and that is Tang Tran. Tang Tran. So both you guys are getting t-shirts. Send in your sizes and your contact info. We'll get it out to you as soon as possible.
Send that to sales@neptunesystems.com, and we'll get you taken care of.
And of course, always subscribe to the channel, okay? So I didn't put the how to do it on here. I do it just about every week. I hope maybe you know by now, but say that you want to see us first in Facebook. And that you want to get the notifications, and on YouTube, be sure to subscribe and to click the bell. So, and get your questions in here so we can get to some of those. So, first thing, this is the thing I wanted to get to with you, Paul. First and foremost is to talk about. Let's get this on. Boom.
The tour dates.
Tour dates. So we're almost through the year.
Yes, it's been a busy year.
There's been a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
So we've had a lot of shows, a lot of small shows, a lot of big shows. We're doing every Reef-A-Palooza. So there's 4 Reef-A-Paloozas this year. But now we're winding down at the end of the year, but that means we've got 2 big ones coming up.
It's almost the best for last, I might say.
Almost, yeah. Who knows? Maybe Chicago will be the best for last.
We'll
Chicago is, as far as the big shows that we go to, Chicago is the biggest one. It is the last on the list here. We do have a couple of smaller shows after that. But next week, it's next week, right? I haven't lost track. Next week.
It does get a little busy here at the
next week is the Reef-A-Palooza show in Southern California, which is an interesting show because that particular show is one of the first ones that Kurt ever did.
Yes.
Right? So along with, I don't know, what was the other one? Not Raw. I can't remember what it was called. But there's 2 shows that were in Southern California. The wrap show is put on by Southern California Marine Aquarium Society. And they put this show on every year. We go down, we do, it's our local show. Yeah. Not really local.
Well, I mean, we do get the opportunity to drive in a truck and spend some quality time together.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, quality time. It's how I remind myself going into that trip.
Yeah,
but we pack up a trailer, and we take everything down with us.
It's like the
to
Beverly
show.
Hillbillies down to the show, because we just cram everything into a U-Haul trailer and a big diesel truck.
Yep.
And head on down.
One of those ones you have to climb into. I always enjoy that.
Yeah, because they didn't spend the money to get the running boards.
Right.
And so you actually have to haul yourself into this giant truck.
And usually these trucks just came back from Burning Man, so they have.
Oh yeah, they are ripe.
Yes.
In many ways. But it's a good show, and we will have the big booth there. We always run all the stuff in the booth, so we don't chintz out and put tables of static products everywhere. We run a full aquarium at the shows. We run, right now the other display that we run is with the core pumps.
Yes.
We run a sump running the core pumps, and everything is live and running.
Everything is live and running in our booth, and everything is, we can demo anything you need to be able to demo. We try to show as many Neptune Systems products as we can, and capabilities as we can, and as a result of that, our booth takes a lot of effort. Just to put it mildly.
Yeah, it does. And the demo thing is really important. We do have customers that come and say, I just really need to know how to do this or that. And it's really, I mean, the biggest part of us doing these events is to engage with all of you guys, all of the control freaks out there. And being able to have everything working and live takes, incredible amount of work. If you have you ever been to one of these shows and seen it as it's going up, you'll see all of us crawling around on the ground and putting wires down and everything, but it's worth it. We'll also have the Let's Talk Reef sofa again this year.
Yeah. This will be the first show I've been to where the Let's Talk Reef is set up for the show.
Oh, that's really, is that true?
I haven't been to a Let's Talk Reef at a show yet.
Oh man, that's right. Oh, that's right, because we didn't have enough space at the other one. But yeah, we did do it in Orlando. We did it the first time in Reef-A-Palooza last year.
Yep.
In Orlando, we did bean bags. We did what's the one? Aquashella. We did Aquashella. That one we did bean bags in. We'll have the sofa again at Reef-A-Palooza. And I'd like to get you guys to come in and sit down and have some live streams with some actual users and talk about what you guys do with your Apexes.
Yeah, we want to. One of the cool things about the Let's Talk Reefs that you do at the show, we get it's you interacting with us. And other people can kind of chime in on what you want to talk about. Yep. Right?
So we can get you on the sofa, talk about your reef, talk about questions that you have about Apex gear, whatever you like. And anybody who does come up and has a good story to tell and can sit down with me, I'll have something for you. Some sort of goodie to give you for your time. So come on by the booth and say hi, sit down for Let's Talk Reef. What else? What else do I have here? So I got the sofa. Oh, the dealers at the event. So we will have 3 dealers at the event. If you're looking to come and get gear, events are always a good time to do it. First and foremost, LAX Aquarium. These guys are amazing. They did our booth at MACNA. They did our booth at Las Vegas MACNA, sorry. And then they did it again at Reef-A-Palooza last year. We had that gigantic square walk around tank.
That was a great
Epic.
tank made by Crystal Dynamic Aquariums. And
yes, Crystal Reef.
It was a complete walk around, overflow in the center, and LAX did some serious justice to that tank.
Yeah.
It was something. They set a new bar, right?
So they're doing it again this year. We're going to be doing I think it's a Red Sea tank at the booth, but they'll be doing all the livestock and everything as well. It should be a pretty amazing setup for the booth. So come on down to Reef-A-Palooza. Also, we now have brand new Unique Corals. Unique Corals is going to start selling our gear on their website.
Right.
So this is really cool, and they're going to be at the event too. They'll have some gear there as well. But I mean, this is like chocolate and peanut butter, right?
Right. It's great to be able to go to those shows, have the product at the shows, have dealers carry,
But these guys are coral, like the best coral, like the best controller. You have it all in one place, and so I'm excited to see it come up on their website as well and start putting the product out there. Then we also have, strangely enough, somebody from Northern California, NorCal Corals, are coming down. So they'll be at the show too, selling corals and whatnot, and they will have some Apex gear.
They are far North California, up in Redding, and I think this is going to be his first time he's actually going to set up a booth at RAP. So great store. I've been carrying Neptune gear for a very long time. Excited to have them on board.
And there will be Tridents at the show, so these guys will have Tridents. So come down if you want to get a Trident. You might have an opportunity to pick one up at the event. And in that vein, also, we are donating one to the Southern California Marine Aquarium Society to be raffled off, and half the proceeds are going to charity. So this is a big deal for us. We like to do these raffles for charity. So they decided, hey, we'll go ahead and do that with you guys. And I'll drop my pen here. I'm a fidgeter like you, Paul.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
So I got to have something near me. But yeah, so they're going to donate half of the proceeds from the raffle, and I'm sure it's going to be a pretty big Trident raffle. I bet there'll be a lot of tickets in there.
Right, so the Trident's going to be in the main raffle. You'll have Greg Carroll announcing that. He's a staple for raffle announcing, I would say. And, we got a lot of tickets for the raffle in New York. And I think Southern California is going to beat it, though.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get a lot of tickets.
Yeah.
First question here, or not the first, but the first question I'm going to bring up. Trident is working great from Rosano. Says, just curious, is there still a backlog these days? There is more demand than we can fill the channel right now, and that's going to still continue for some time. We wish that wasn't the case, but we're doing the best we can here still.
Yeah.
All of the dealers, both local fish stores and online, are getting them every week.
We ship every day. We build these every day. Dealers receive them every day. The demand is that high to when they become available, they're immediately gone, right? And you can tell us to build more, okay? We're building as many as we possibly can. There's never been a product like this in the Reef Aquarium.
No, there hasn't, and we've been told that by every dealer, everybody. This is unprecedented, the amount of demand. I mean, it's really crazy. And we've got a ton of demand too for the ATK V2 and the new PMUP V2 version 2s of both of those products. We may get into a stock out situation on that at some dealers here in the next couple of weeks. So if you're looking to get one of those,
if you are looking to get a PMUP V2 or an ATK V2 and you see it in stock, I'd probably pick it up. It's going to get a little bit shorthanded for a little bit in the next week.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the wrap stuff. That's the one show, which is an incredibly big show. But, and not shortchanging wrap at all, but we all know that the show of the year is MACNA.
Oh, yeah.
Every year, we've been to this event 20-some years, since Kurt has been doing it. I think this
consecutively.
Consecutively.
It hasn't missed a show.
That's correct. And I don't know, for me, I think my first one was in 2011, so that makes it, my 9th or 10th one?
I think Iowa was your first show. I just came on board at Neptune right after Iowa.
Yeah.
And our first show together was in Dallas, 2012.
That's correct. So that means that's 9 then.
Yeah.
That's 9 shows that I've done.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then,
The time flies, man. Time just seriously flies. So anyway.
I was thinking about that first booth not too long ago.
Of course, we're going to be there again. And the biggest deal at this particular event is the meetup, the breakfast meetup, right? I mean, it's strangely enough, this started as a little thing to get a few users together. Was it Miami was the first one?
Miami was the first one.
And it was like, oh, we'll get some people together.
You had a hard eye roll from me. You had a hard eye roll from me. And it's just
it's turned into something just so epic. It's unreal.
Yeah.
Every year it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. For those of you that don't know, it starts in the morning of Friday morning. It officially starts at 8 a.m., but it doesn't really start at 8 a.m.
It starts at like 8:30 is when...
Well, no, because it really starts at like 6.
Yeah.
Because people start getting in line at like 6. And this is like Comic-Con type lines.
Yes.
They just go on and on and on and on.
I think last year by far was the most epic in terms of the length of that line.
There's video of that, so if you want to go out and take a look at it, it is pretty incredible. The the one thing for us, truth be told, we could have done better on the check-in. So those of you that were there, we're improving that this year. It should be much better.
Yep, that's on me. So if it doesn't go well and we get back to the next Let's Talk Reef,
yes,
you can let me know how you feel about it. But I hope for a very seamless check-in, and we'll go through some of the details on that on the 20th.
Yes, and okay, so speakers so far for the event, Rich Ross. Look, he's every year favorite. I never get tired of hearing Rich Ross talk about reefs because his presentations are not just very entertaining, which they are. They're one of the most entertaining presentations.
Well, he's an entertainer for one, right?
Yes, that is obvious. He doesn't juggle during the presentation, but he does give a great prezo, and then on top of that, the information is excellent. There's great takeaways from his talks. So he'll be there. He'll be giving a talk. We'll also have Mark Callahan, Mr. Saltwater Tank.
You had him on here a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, we had him on Let's Talk Reef, so he's going to be there. He spoke 2 or 3 years ago at the event. I think he spoke in San Diego, at the meetup. So people love him as well. So that's also a big get for us to have him at the event and to talk about. I think he's going to be talking about the Trident and stability and some of the experiences that he has. So that should be a really good talk. I don't know what Rich is going to talk about yet. And then we'll have at least one other person giving some sort of a talk about Apex stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a ton of content here. If you're an Apex geek, an Apex guru, and you also get to rub shoulders with all the Neptune crew and these guys like Mr. Saltwater Tank and Rich Ross as well. So it's a really great get together. But we couldn't make it possible to be as big and epic as it is without bringing in some of our sponsors. So let's see here. We've got, first and foremost, oh, look at that. I messed up the overlay. Here we go. We got saltwateraquarium.com, okay? So the first year in Miami, I think, yeah, that's correct. I'm just going back now. We bought the breakfast. And Ken from saltwateraquarium.com was not happy. He's like, where's the bacon? And so he said, next year, saltwateraquarium.com is going to sponsor the breakfast, and we're going to have bacon. And so we did. He sponsored it, and we had an epic breakfast. And ever since then, he has been stepping up to sponsor the breakfast. Some years we actually have champagne and mimosas and whatnot. Don't know if we're doing that this year or not, because this particular resort
it's at Disney. In Disney resorts, so there is a.
If I explain to you guys the cost of a Danish at Disney resort, you'd think, wow. So anyway, so I don't know that we're having mimosas and champagne or not, but we will have an incredible breakfast, and it's thanks to them. And for those of you that don't know, Mr. Saltwater Tank is now doing videos with saltwateraquarium.com, some amazing content that they're putting out. They're doing a budget reefing series, which has been great. They've been doing on individual things like automatic top off, and he's having now a new series on livestock that they're just going to start. So I'm anxious to see what they're going to do with that.
Mark has some really good livestock insights, how to stock up a tank, all of those sorts of things. So,
yep. And Mark is one of these people who he does it, so you can believe everything that he says because he's got the big tank to prove it. So it's really, really cool. Next up, as far as sponsors, let's see if I can pull up the logo, is Premium Aquatics. Premium Aquatics has been with us since the beginning, and Premium Aquatics has been helping pony up goodies for everybody. Everybody's kind of been doing the same thing every year, which is neat, and we've progressed this as well. So we have a little goodie bag that we give out that has stuff that help you in your reef, like glue for your frag plugs.
Let's not give away too many of the details, but you've got some pretty cool things going in the bag.
We do. We do have some stuff. I'm not going to give away what all of it is. One thing that is a perennial favorite that this is the 4th year we will be doing these, so you can have a collector set, kind of like McDonald's, is the glassware. So we will have a pint glass with a cool logo on it. You'll get that if you come. Now again, this is only for the first couple hundred people who sign up, which we haven't reached that yet.
So it's you have to sign up.
Yes.
So that's something you got to do, and Terrence is going to float the link here in a little bit. And B, you got to be one of the first 150 people or so in the door.
Yes.
All right. We wish we could give it to everyone, right? But
there's a limited supply.
Yes.
So if you do pre-sign up, you're not guaranteed, because the problem we have with that is obviously some people pre-sign up and then they don't show up, and it wouldn't be fair to everybody else. So if you pre-sign up and you get in line and you make it up to the front, you're going to get one of those. We also have available, in addition to that, we have T-shirts. So every year we have like a commemorative cool little T-shirt with the logo on it that people collect. I believe we'll have about 200 of those to give out as well. So you get a little ticket when you sign up. So that's really neat. So I keep an eye on time because I don't want to go over. So that's what Premium Aquatics brings into the picture. Next, which is really neat, I let him go, is Bulk Reef Supply. So Bulk Reef Supply has not sponsored every year. They have graciously come in this year to sponsor the raffle. So in addition to the Neptune raffle, which I'm pretty sure we'll probably give away a Trident.
I'm pretty sure there'll be a Trident giveaway.
I'm pretty sure there'll be a Trident giveaway along with other really cool Apex gear. But in addition to that, they've also ponied up some gear. I'm going to read off some of this stuff for you guys. It's pretty amazing. 36-inch Giesemann 6-bulb T5 fixture. It's worth over $1,000. Okay.
Oh, wow.
24-inch Stellar T5 hybrid fixture.
All right, so 2 lights.
2 lights.
Okay.
4 skims pumps. And 2 of these pumps are over 4,200 gallon per hour pumps that they're donating.
Okay.
A Kessel H80 tuna flora. So this is one that you can use to grow your algae, I assume. Or is this for
That's for the refugiums.
It's for the refugium,
it's
right?
It's the purple light, yeah.
And then you've got the Seche Extreme wave pump. So this is the cool little Extreme one, the little miniature one. It goes up to 2,200 gallons per hour.
That's controllable by
and
the
that's
Apex.
controllable by the
Yeah,
Apex.
you can control the intensity of that with your Apex.
And then the Akamai from Hydor, their little power head. So we're going to have that to raffle off. And then we have a whole kit of calcium and alkalinity along with 2 dosing pumps.
Oh.
2 of the BRS dosing pumps that you can hook on, with the Apex to set them for time.
All right.
And so we have all of that we're going to be raffling off in addition to the Apex gear. Man, if you do not get down there for this event, you're going to be missing out because, I mean
Terrence, just in bulk reef,
it's a few thousand.
A few $1,000s of raffle there, and then we typically raffle off what?
A couple grand also.
A couple grand as well. So there is
no cost for the tickets.
Real opportunity.
And if you do pre-register, everybody who pre-registers gets 2 raffle tickets.
If you don't pre-register, you get 1.
And you get in late.
And you don't get any chance at breakfast.
Because by the time it gets, if you get in there at 8 o'clock, because the people who basically pre-sign up can get in, as early as I think 7:15, 7:30ish, and they get in and they get the first crack at the breakfast.
So,
but hey, if you do come and you're on this live stream, be nice to everybody else on the breakfast. Don't load your plate up, man, because there's poor people.
It happens. It happens.
All right. So that's what's happening there. Also, I don't know the number yet, but we will have Tridents for sale by those sponsors at the event.
Oh, so we're going to bring Tridents with us to the meetup, and then we'll raffle off the opportunity to purchase them?
So it is difficult to get a Trident.
Yes,
a lot of people want to
this.
get them. We know a lot of our control freaks are at the event, and some of those people haven't been able to get one yet.
Yes, we request too that if you already have a Trident,
yes,
please don't enter the raffle
that would
to
not be
enter
cool.
Another one. That's not cool.
Right. So what'll happen is that you'll pull a ticket. We'll pull a ticket. You'll have a way to get it from BRS, or a way to get it from saltwateraquarium.com, or a way to get it from Premium Aquatics. You will get it at that time.
Okay.
So it's I haven't figured out the logistics on how to do this yet.
This is a new idea, I take it.
It's not like at the moment new.
Yeah.
But it's definitely within the last 2 weeks.
It's Terrence's idea for sure.
But I want people to be able to have them. I want them to have them there, to take them home. They've got them. They'll have them in their the hotel suite. They'll be just petting it and going, "Baby, I'm going to get you home soon."
I got to leave MACNA early. I got this Trident, right?
So definitely, hope the comments are still going. Oh yeah, they're still there. Drama D's out there. Okay, so that you're going to be able to get that. The sign up for the pre-registration. That's what you're all waiting for. Oh, where's my cursor? The sign up is NeptuneSystems.com/MACNA meetup with dashes 2019. So go there as soon as possible. Don't leave the live stream though. Stay on the live stream. Yeah. Do it in another window.
And you can also Google just Neptune Systems Meetup 2019.
Yeah, and it'll come right up.
Pull up the link.
Yep.
So
for sure. Okay. So what are we doing at MACNA? Okay. So here's the deal. We're going to have a huge booth right in the middle, Paul, and we're actually splitting the booth up to have a front side and a back side.
Okay.
The back side is going to be like a chill zone, so we're going to have a little area you can chill out in, watch some videos or some live streams if you want in that area. And then on the other side, we're going to have a little get-together, let's talk reef filming area on the other side. That's going to be on the back.
All right.
On the front is where the business happens, like usual. So it's going to be a fairly typical Neptune booth with all the gear running, like we like to do. In addition to that, we will have a massive tank.
Right. That's to be expected.
It's to be expected. We keep setting the bar higher and higher. This year, the tank that we're going to have is going to be 48 by 48 by, I believe, 28 inches high.
Ooh.
And
that's a tank. That's a tank.
It's going to be a huge, epic tank with a walk-around shelf on it.
So 4 by 4 by 2.
By over 2.
Over 2.
Yeah, 28 inches high.
28 inches.
With a rear overflow, external overflow. It will have a Geo's Reef sump under it. Beautiful orange and gray Geo's Reef sump with 2 core pumps running. Running the overflows, running the returns on it. One on each side. It'll have all the Apex gear out in the front like it usually does.
Okay.
And then the guys from Top Shelf Aquatics in Orlando are going to be doing the all the all the livestock and rock and setting it all up, making it look incredible. We'll have 2 Aquatic Life T5 hybrid fixtures over the top, 4-foot fixtures, so it's going to be lit up like amazing.
So T5 LED combo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And those T5s are dimmable now too, right?
That's the thing too. The new one's excellent. And so I think this is going to be even more epic than last year's tank. Who's
and then Top Shelf.
Top Shelf.
Top Shelf is doing all the livestock and stocking the tank.
Yep.
And
I think it's going to be absolutely incredible.
I can't wait.
I can't wait to see what all comes together on it. But one of the really interesting things is we don't keep these tanks. And sometimes, the dealers themselves decide to buy them, right? Because we actually pay money for them and then we sell them back and what have you. But this year, we're thinking if any of you control freaks out there want to buy the booth tank, because it is going to be epic.
And it comes fully loaded with all the Apex gear too.
Everything.
I don't know if Terrence expressed that. So we're talking an Apex system.
Trident.
It's essentially turnkey.
A Trident?
Yeah, it's essentially turnkey minus the lights, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
everything except the lights is included. No livestock or any of that. But the tank, the stand, and as I said, the stand is going to have kind of a walk-around shelf, a beer shelf on it. We will have the Geo's Reef sump in there. We'll have the core pumps. We'll have all the Apex gear. We'll have all of that. And if any of you out there are interested, go ahead and send us an email to sales@neptunesystems.com. Tell me what you think. What you think it might be worth to have. I can guarantee you it's well over $10,000, $12,000 worth of stuff that's on there. We only need to get $5,000 out of it, and everything over $5,000 is going to be donated to charity.
Okay.
So it's going to half of the donation is going to go to St. Jude Children's Hospital.
All right.
And the other half to the Coral Restoration Foundation.
That's great. That's great.
So if anybody's looking for a 4-foot by 4-foot tank or has a space for such a tank, you're not going to find a more epic tank than this. It's pretty amazing.
So if you're in the Florida area especially, right, you need to definitely be listening in on this. This is going to be a tank at a great value. So make us an offer, send us an email to
Even if you're not in the
sales.
Florida area, if you want to have somebody ship it, we can find a way to get somebody to package that up and ship it for you.
Right.
Question here came in though. Hey Terrence, where can we purchase one of those glasses that your water's in? This is Frank asking. I collect 20-ounce glasses. Well, you cannot buy these.
No.
These are collector's items. The only way you can get these is by going to MACNA and going to the meetup and registering early and being one of the first people that come through the door.
Are you dedicated enough?
Or if you buy $4,000 worth of gear, maybe I might find one. Tell you what, Frank, if you buy the tank from us for $10,000, I'll throw in 6 of those, a whole set. How's that?
Sometimes I can't take you anywhere.
I know.
You know that?
I can't take it out of me.
Yeah,
That's just what it is.
I know.
Anyway, but we don't make any of these things for sale because that's what we want. We want everybody to feel special that has them. So that's the MACNA. That's the MACNA situation.
As you can tell, Terrence and I are really excited about MACNA. We are really excited about it. We can't wait to meet you guys there. Come talk to us. We love it. So we hope to see you there. And
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We hope that you come. Whether you're local.
Tickets are super low price this year. It's Disney, right? If you need a reason, right? And
you still got enough time to get discount tickets too on the airfare too. I think my airfare from out here was $400 or something like that. $430.
I booked just last week and found tickets all the way from California for $300.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so moving on, we already spotlighted a couple of the West Coast guys. Wanted to give a shout out to one of my favorite stores.
Oh yeah.
That's in the East Coast, and that is Pure Reef. Pure Reef is in Alpharetta, Georgia. It's Angela and George.
Yep.
They've been doing aquarium stores forever, but they've been at Pure Reef for some time. And it's an amazing store. I've got other pictures that I don't have on here right now, but you have to check this place out.
Right. It's one of those stores you walk into and you kind of wonder, why you can't always walk in to have an experience like that.
What's amazing is that they have this little not kitchen, but a little like breakfast table and sitting area in the front, right in front of 2 500-gallon aquariums, and one of them is a full reef, and the other one is a fish only, like aggressive tank. Really amazing. place. But what's really good is if you want to talk to a Neptune person, Tom's going to be there next week, next Wednesday afternoon, week and a day from today, from the afternoon all the way until the time that they close. So if you want to get a question answered and you're in the Atlanta area, stop into Pure Reef and see Tom.
Tom is our East Coast sales rep,
Yep.
and he will be there. He is very knowledgeable. He can answer any questions you might have, or help you out with helping design a system for your needs.
Yeah. We also have one other shout out too that I almost forgot, which is out in Las Vegas. We have a brand new dealer out in Las Vegas.
Finally.
I know.
Vegas.
I know, and they're killing it. And,
they are doing real well.
And really happy to bring on Pisces Reef into the Apex Neptune world. And next Saturday, or sorry, this coming Saturday, this coming Saturday, Vincent's going to be out there at 10 a.m. For an event that they're doing out there. So if you're West Coast and you're in the Vegas area, or maybe you just want to go to Vegas for the weekend,
if you needed a reason,
go out to Pisces Reef and see them and see Vincent.
Yeah. Do the same.
Very cool.
Very knowledgeable. Answer all your questions.
Okay. So now something I wanted to talk about, Paul, that is kind of funny. So I was talking with Ryan from BRS over the weekend. He's doing these new videos that are these recommended videos.
Yeah, I saw some of those.
So now, pretty much, if they're going to do a recommended sticker on something, he does a video saying, this is why I think it's recommended. And he was talking to me about scrapers.
Algae scrapers.
Algae scrapers
Okay.
over the weekend. And he was all hung up on a good scraper, which is the algae-free scraper. And I was like, yeah, it's the wooden
ones, right. Yeah. Super strong.
Yeah, strong magnets. And I was like, really? No, for me, it's all about the flipper. And we very quickly figured out that this is a somewhat polarizing kind of thing, I think. I have a couple of them down here for the people that aren't asking. I just wanted to talk it over with you, see what your thoughts were on some of this, and maybe impart some reef keeping info to some of the people out there. This is the mag float. This isn't the algae free.
This is the staple.
Yeah, this is the old school, been around.
This has been around forever. The great thing about this one is when you lose the part that's in the aquarium, it's going to go to float to the top.
Correct.
For now.
Patented design.
Yes, and it kind of uses a rough edge on this side. Looks like this one has some sort of scraper attachment.
They did. They now created a scraper thing that slides into it. About 8 or 9 years ago, the scraper idea came around.
Right. I remember probably 8 or 9 years ago, I super glued on a third-party attachment to the mag float and had a scraper along with the abrasive pad.
And it cleans that outside of the tank a little bit as well as the inside. But as you know, anything that gets into this, right, sand, even on a glass tank, go like this.
Acrylic, forget
Acrylic,
it.
you're done.
Don't even touch
even a
these
tiny little whatever in this, you're more or less done. If you have kids, oh man, you leave this on the tank, you are asking for trouble because that's all they want to do is move it around. You know, a 3 or 4 year old. This is a good product. It's not my favorite because of not so much I used them forever, but because I got the flipper. Now, Ryan's thing, which a lot of people have, is he likes that floating part. He doesn't want to have it get hidden, and I've had that happen to me with the flipper.
It happens.
It gets disconnected, it goes under the rocks,
try to turn it,
power heads.
All that stuff.
So the flipper works a little bit differently, and I know you're a fan of the flipper too, right?
I am a fan of the flipper.
So,
I'm pro flipper.
So when I told Ryan this after the weekend, he messaged me back and said, yeah, I spoke to some people. This is evidently a really contentious issue. And then after he posted the videos, he talked to me again. He's like, yeah, people are really, they're really passionate about their algae scrapers. So the flipper, what's really interesting about the flipper is because it has the polarity of a magnet, it can be flipped over and you could use both sides of it. So what they did was they still have a pad side, but
that pad side isn't quite as abrasive that you find on the mag float if you're familiar with the mag float.
Correct. Yeah. It's meant to be a polisher, I think.
Right.
Like and the fact is I've never used it, ever.
Yeah.
What I use is the scraper side, and what makes the scraper side so amazing are all of these 2 little dots. There's only 2 spots here and this that touch the glass.
And so when if sand were to get in the middle of there, it doesn't necessarily scratch your glass. Now one thing...
You still have to be careful for big grains,
right.
But at least you can see everything that's happening because you can see it through the glass too.
One thing you got to be really careful about is the razor on here. You got to make sure that's on 100% straight. If that's even at a slight bit of an angle, I've heard reports of the flipper scratching your glass.
Right.
But that's almost always, in my opinion, because that razor isn't in the right
Yeah,
spot.
that's definitely it. Or they trap something back here, which you can. You can get big, you get a shell or something behind there if you're not paying attention.
Now, if you're on an acrylic tank, we haven't even, these are all for glass tanks. Acrylic
Correct.
tank, my opinion is, it's a labor of love.
The difference for me, and I know this seems like a simple thing, is with this, when you get the sand in it, you can't see it.
No.
And so you have to pull it off to kind of see, and then when you do it, floats up and it goes. So I really, really like the flipper design. I think it's it's probably the top 5. I have a 96 by 32 by 32 aquarium. I do the 3 panels on that in 5 minutes on my tank.
But you have those armored seams.
Yeah,
I'm so jealous of those armored seams. He's got a Reef Savvy tank.
Felix design.
It's got these armored seams that run down it, and he can just smack right into it and never even touch the seam.
Never touches the silicone,
Yeah,
so it's definitely good. But anyway, my recommendation is the flipper. Some people love the algae free or the mag float.
The Tunes ones are also really nice, but with anything you start paying more money, right? As you kind of go up with a bigger and bigger.
The Tunes one is nice. The thing I don't like about the Tunes one is I can't get it's kind of skinny. Mm-hmm. And I like the ergonomics of something bigger to grab than the little thing
I agree.
that.
I'm on the same page. My opinion on acrylic tanks, I specifically stay away from acrylic tanks, but I think that you really only can get a acrylic scraper with those.
I think you have to be really careful and use the softest, most least scratchy thing on those. Mm-hmm. All right, well, that's just a little bit of reef stuff I want to get into. So we're going to have all this Neptune stuff and talk about something and keep true to let's talk reef stuff a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, so next topic we're going to get to is some of the Trident news. And, wrong camera. You don't want to see me like that. So on the Trident news front, first and foremost there is an AOS update.
Yes.
And there's a lot of talk about this AOS update out there. The R2-D2 noises have gone away.
Yes.
And a lot of people aren't pleased about that.
Yes.
I know.
So, we listen to feedback, right? And a lot of people, the noise was obtrusive, right? A couple users, complained that the high frequency really disturbed their pets, right? That weren't their fish, i.e. dogs and cats. My dog specifically really does not like the Trident. When I would bring her into the office and the Trident testing, she would go to the farthest corner of the office and hide. I don't know why. Right? It's that frequency. So the firmware update, for better or lack of it, it killed R2-D2.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's not coming back.
It's not coming back.
Just go through your mourning period.
Yes.
Mark Levinson. And get over it because it's not coming back. It is a silent tester. It will likely be the most silent tester on the market for a while, in my opinion, because all you hear now is a couple of clicks.
So if you really needed it, you could hook up a speaker to an Apex outlet, and every time the Trident starts testing,
play that
sound.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really your only recording.
Sad beep is gone.
But there were some other things with that AOS update as well.
That's correct.
Things that don't necessarily matter so much, but a little bit of the backbone of things changed. The reagent warning level is going to happen a little bit lower.
Correct.
So you can run it down to the bottom. But we're going to touch on that of why that might be a little bit more of an issue here in a second too.
Yeah, absolutely. And on top of that, the reagent leakage issue, we've considered that solved. There might be one or two here or there because something happened in manufacturing. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But as far as an endemic problem, it is now completely solved.
Yes.
As far as the calibration bottles are concerned, we've mitigated that about the best we can with the current bottles, but we figured the only way to really solve this for everybody is move to a new bottle design. So Paul's got the new bottle design right there. It looks a little bit like something I get shampoo at the Marriott.
Yeah, it's a little bit more rigorous in terms of its seal.
Has a better seal on it.
And it's going to fit the exact same way, if not better, into the current reagent pack. We have a lot of other calibration bottles available.
We've really mitigated it down to a very tiny percentage of people with the calibration fluid leaking now. But I think this is going to bring it home for us. So
you're going to start
look for
seeing
that.
these at some point, in the near future.
And as Paul mentioned to me, if anybody knows somebody who could use a few thousand bottles, quite a few thousand bottles
Of the old calibration bottle.
of the old calibration style, let us know.
We're very interested in speaking with them. So, in all seriousness.
Yes.
So there's that.
Another thing that's happening lately that we're seeing, Paul, out there in social media is a few people are posting reports, pictures, etc. And we've had some support calls of calcium levels slowly increasing.
Or decreasing, but one of the two things,
okay.
right?
But a steady incline
is
more common that we're seeing over time. And I know that there's some solutions for that, so I'd like you to talk about that a little bit. Tell us why this happens, and is there a fix for it? What's happening?
So first off, I want to just
Do I need to get over here?
what this looks like.
Okay.
So let me jump over here, hit play. All right. So this is a user that has been experiencing the what we call a rise in calcium, the rising calcium issue, if you will.
Okay.
Okay. First off, I need to stress the importance that this is happening to a very small number of people.
Yes.
Okay. And I think a lot of times is, what's that big issue, right?
Right.
It's, for the number of Tridents that are out there and the number of people that are raising this issue with us, it's a very small percentage. But because a lot of people don't have a Trident who want a Trident right now, I think it's very important for us to address the issues that they're seeing online and touch on those. That's why we're talking about this right now.
Correct.
Okay? So this is what the raising calcium issue looks like.
Well, the first thing to talk about here too, when I see this, every time I see a graph used, Paul, is we have to understand what the line really means, because we see a lot of dips and rises and whatnot.
Yes.
So it's very important whenever you look at a graph that anybody puts out there, or even on your own, for sure, Apex, is to look at the axes and look at the scale that is on the axes, because sometimes you can have 15 parts per million top to bottom,
yes,
and it looks like things are going all over the place. So.
Yes. So here is the range. We're looking at on the y-axis, we're looking at a 300 to 800 range.
Okay.
On the x-axis, we're looking at 1 week.
Okay.
All right. So this user in particular, he was on July 18th. He was at a normal range, and then his calcium levels started to increase.
Okay.
Okay. And it increased all the way up to 800 here at the top. All right. His calcium is not actually.
There's no way you can get to 800.
Yes.
Not without the snowstorm.
At this point, too, sorry, I don't want to show you guys that. The calcium, the Trident is basically going to bow out. Okay.
Okay.
Go back to that slide. And so, why is this happening? Okay.
Yeah.
I
mean, I am seeing it on some people's readouts. So what's happening inside the Trident that's causing this to show this way?
So when you do a titration at home, okay, you are counting the drops of the reagent you're putting into there, And if for some reason you push down a little bit and you don't see any drop come out, you're not going to count that as a drop because there was some air in there.
Yeah, if you had air in the syringe or something like that.
Exactly. And so the Trident, only knows that every, quarter of a drop or eighth of a drop or full drop, based on the motor turn.
Correct.
Okay. So what is happening here is the Trident is starting to get small amounts of air when it thinks it's reagent during the titration.
Okay, so it's pulling in air instead of reagent.
Exactly.
Okay.
But it thinks it's reagent.
Right.
Okay. And this is happening when the reagent level inside the bottle becomes very low.
Okay.
Okay. And so it becomes very low, and as a result of that, as it gets lower and lower.
But isn't the tube still picking it up? I mean, why is it going low? Is it because of the pressure in the bottle or something?
So this is what it looks like normally, Terrence.
Okay.
Okay. If everything is the way it should be, and the cap was inserted in the appropriate way, you're going to see a reagent intake assembly. I like to call it that. Going all the way down to the bottom, and the space is about a millimeter.
Okay.
Between the between the bottom of that intake assembly and the bottom of the bottle. If we were to put it any lower, it actually prevents intake.
Kind of like when you put a straw in your shake and you get right down to the bottom, you can't get any, so you got to have it come up off the bottom a little bit.
Exactly.
Okay.
And what is happening in these situations, Terrence, is some people, when they're putting in their intake assemblies, the intake assembly itself is crooked.
So when they put the cap into the bottle, okay?
And I have an actual one I can show you here in a second. And when it's crooked like that, right, it's not going all the way down to the bottom. This is the same length of tube, but now it's at a 15, 20-degree angle.
Right.
Okay? And as a result of that, you can see that there's now more reagent than there is in this one. And it's up higher. So at this point, it starts, getting air and pulling in a little bit of reagent.
Okay.
As that reagent level becomes lower,
But the
and lower
Apex
and lower,
hasn't said that you're out of reagent yet because it still thinks you have another, 5 or 6 tests to go before you run out.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so that is what we are seeing out there. Okay. Now there's all sorts of different, kind of permutations of this. But what we do know is that when you replace the reagent level and it goes all the way to the top again, this corrects the issue.
Okay.
Okay.
So what do we do?
What do we do? Okay. First off, let me, if you can pull up my little mini cam here.
There you go.
So, look at that.
Look at that.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
So this
Show and tell.
is kind of how it should look. All right. When it's not on there appropriately, so let me go ahead and do there. You can see now it's at a slight bit of an angle. Can you see that? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I can see it fine.
And then we go into the bottle. All right, and you can kind of see in there, and as I flex it, you can see it sort of move. So when you're pushing your reagent drawer in, number one, make sure that intake assembly is straight up and down, and number two, make sure that there's no stress on that tubing as you close the drawer, okay? And that will allow it to go straight up and down, okay? That's my show and tell.
Okay.
Switch off of that.
Well, that was good, Paul.
Thank you. And what is Neptune Systems doing about that is so I'm gonna call it this, but I think it was a little bit of a brouhaha when we first released the Trident. Okay, people were getting empty reagent issues, and there was still reagent left in the bottle.
So they thought we were pulling a fast one on them.
We were pulling a fast one, right?
Right.
So what we were doing at that time is we wanted to make sure that you got all your tests, right? We didn't want there to be any issues. Maybe if you had some weird
because on an average system, you should get 120 tests. So out of a set.
We were overfilling those, right?
Okay.
And that's just what we wanted to do, to make sure everything was done right. Well, and we probably would have continued to do that if no one might have been concerned about it. But, there was a lot of concern, so we said, okay, let's get closer to the quote-unquote 250 milliliters that is supposed to be in there.
Okay.
Okay? And so during all of our testing and everything like that, and
we never saw this problem because
all those bottles were overfilled.
We get it there.
So now, right, as bottles are being filled closer to 250 milliliters, we're seeing this issue pop up a little bit. We're seeing this issue kind of show up. What we're going to do about it is, guess what? We're going to start overfilling the bottles. Okay.
That's the first thing we're going to do.
Yes. And go back and add that 20 milliliters or so that we stopped.
And I'm sure the engineers are going to look at this too and see if there's another way to solve the core problem that we're seeing here. But in the meantime, we're gonna fill the bottles up, to a higher level, I guess. And for those of you that are seeing this happen, take the cap off, I guess, and arrange the tube to make sure the tube goes straight down.
Exactly.
And when you put things back in.
If you're already experiencing this, make sure your tube is straight and just replace your reagents, right?
Okay.
You're not going to really be able to come back once the Trident starts to go up like that. It's believing that's a trend and the titration, the way it works.
Okay.
So I just recommend if you are experiencing this, go ahead and replace your reagents at this point. Make sure the intake assembly tube is going up and down.
Okay.
We'll start overfilling the bottles. We're going to look into some other solutions, but that's kind of it now. That's kind of what we're going to do for it right now.
All right, so then there's another Trident question that's come out recently, which is not really a question, but concerns. We saw a lot of them on the last Let's Talk Reef. We saw them come in comments, where there were a number of people who are still out there going, wait a second, I don't know if I trust these numbers. It's going to give me the wrong number, and then it's going to have a runaway situation with the dose, so I don't think I want to do this automatic dosing thing because I don't trust it, and it's going to nuke my tank.
Right.
So we still see, we've done a lot of work trying to communicate how automatic dosing control works, evidently not enough.
Yes. So we're going to, again, kind of go through in terms of, how we thought about controlled dosing with the Trident, right? And how we thought about some of the safety precautions there.
Okay.
And we'll, try to go through this. So first off, right, before you entered into Trident controlled dosing.
What do you need me to do here?
You need to get the,
back to here? Okay. Oh, where'd I go?
There it is. And then where are we?
good question. I think I need to go like that.
There we go. First thing you need to understand about before you enter into kind control dosing, what your values are. Okay, because we're talking about calcium right now, let's just go ahead and look at the calcium. So, I pull up my calcium graph, and oh my gosh, it's all over the place. No, it's not. The range here is 430 down to 400, okay? And my average is about 423. So that's within the precision of the Trident of plus or minus 15.
Okay, so the idea though is that first and foremost, run your Trident for a while, try to manually or with the dose, try to get your tank at a stable level.
At a consistent level, or more towards your targeted level.
Okay.
So, for example, if I wanted to maintain my calcium at 500 right now, and my average was 420, there's no way that the Trident could just step in and control it to 500.
Got it. So you got to basically step it up to get it about where you want it. Okay, this is how much it takes to get me.
It's the cruise control analogy, right? So if you're going 35. And you want to be going 70, just don't hit resume from 35.
Yeah, you don't want to have it floor the pedal.
It'll floor the pedal, and the Trident is already set up so it won't even work with that anyways.
Okay.
So after, I determined, okay, I'm pretty much about the level I want to maintain, right? To set up Trident controlled dosing, you're going to go to a task. And the task is this notebook-looking icon right here.
Yeah, the clipboard.
The clipboard, yep. And we go to Trident controlled dosing. And, we talk about all the things that I just said about knowing what's going on.
Right.
And you have to know generally what amount of additive would hypothetically maintain.
Right, that's why I said you kind of get it a little bit stable, because you have to know not just how to get to that 450, but how to keep it at 450 in your tank for a day or two.
Yes. And so we go ahead and confirm that we understand that. Okay, we select the parameter we want to monitor, which is calcium. We select the pump we want to use, which is the calcium pump. If I wanted to change the name of that, I could. I'm not going to. And then I choose my level. I want to maintain 420.
Okay.
And my volume to do that is about 30 milliliters. Okay. And for calcium, I don't find that you need to dose more during the day than at night. That's pretty much only for alkalinity. But at this point, the calcium would then control between 470 and 420. Okay. If it gets above 470, it's not going to control. It's going to go back to that 30 milliliters.
To your default level that you put in.
And when it's at 465, it's going to be doing close to that 42 milliliters that you see right there. When it's doing closer to 375, it's going to be doing closer to 18. As soon as it's above or below 470 or 370, right? It's just going to go back to what I said should maintain my tank.
So there is no worry.
Yeah.
There is no worry, because if even in the situation where we're talking about before, where your calcium was going super high, or so it thought, the Apex is just going to say, no, that's way outside of range. Just do the normal that was set before.
Right, exactly. And to show that kind of on my tank.
Either direction. If it was erroneously going high, where it would tell it don't add anymore, it's still going to add what the nominal value was. Or if it told you it was too low and it's just started to try to add a whole bunch to try to get it back, no, that won't happen. This is a really unique thing to the Apex and the Trident.
Right. Our engineers spent a good deal of time thinking about this.
Because if you tried to do, if you used some other testing product or method or automated tester, some of them go through the pH port.
Right.
And if you tried to do that along with, let's say, a BRS dosing pump and tried to emulate something like this, that's the situation where you would have. And there are systems that will happen where you could get a runaway, and that's why we designed this way, so you can't have that problem.
Yes, that is exactly kind of our thinking that we thought on this. And you can kind of see my Trident in action right now, where when I'm a little bit higher, when I'm a little bit lower, you can see that it does more dosing. Right? Let me put on the little watch, and then when it goes a little bit higher, you can see it's doing less dosing. So that's that. So what about that situation with the runaway calcium? What would have happened, Terrence? Let me show you. So here's the runaway calcium graph. Here's the hypothetical 420, 425. That means that's the range that it's going to control in, and that range is between 475 and 375.
So it has to stay in there.
Yep. As soon as it gets that point right there, it's going to go back to the 30 milliliters a day.
So the Trident was giving erroneous results because of the tube issue that we talked about, and the Apex said, I can't believe that necessarily, so I need to go back to what your nominal value was and not try to chase numbers.
Exactly. And We don't stop dosing. We just dose what you said to dose in the first place. We take off
because we know that's
we take
safe.
off cruise control more or less.
Yeah,
right?
because we know that's pretty much safe, and you're going to be just going at what you thought was the kind of even Steven level for your tank.
It's the way we've always done it before the Trident.
That's true.
Which has been very successful for people as well.
Absolutely.
So I think we're done on the graph.
Let's take a couple of questions here.
Saw some calcium reactor questions.
I like this one. Got here late. Does the Trident need to initialize? This is from Matthew Duarte. Does the Trident need to initialize and prime after a power outage? I've had this problem with my unit.
No, it shouldn't have to do that. So anytime the Trident loses power and then adds power again, right, it's going to prime the sample line, evacuate the sample chamber, because we don't know necessarily. Maybe there was,
we don't know what the state
we don't know what the state is, so we basically get back down to net zero. There's no reason to prime the reagents. Those stay in the lines anyways. So that's all you have to worry about there.
Okay, let's see. Any other questions you saw here, Paul?
Tim, I've seen you all over the place. Don't worry, we're going to take care of you. Okay, you put a lot of posts up there, and calcium reactor. We've talked about the calcium reactors before.
There's people that are doing it. There is a way to.
There is a way to do it.
To do it, it's quite complex, and
the calcium reactor, in our opinion, should take care of 90% of your needs. And we really like the concept of using liquid additive to do that extra 10%. Right, when it needs a little bit more.
And also gives you a safety factor when you go on vacation, so that if your calcium reactor were to go down or you ran out of CO2 or something on vacation, you could then up the 2-part to take the place of it.
So kind of, I think what time are we?
We're
right
pretty
there.
much over. I'm just trying to answer a couple of questions.
So I see all these questions, right? And I saw Tim going on in there. I think we all saw his comments there on YouTube. You know, I'm sorry you're having trouble, Tim. Don't worry. We're going to be here to help. So I just want to take a moment.
This is a good segue.
To show how you can contact us. So first off, you can call us, okay? And that phone number is right there, okay? 408-275-2205. Press 1. Okay, you'll speak to somebody. You know, we may not be able to help you right then and there, but we'll get you into the process of getting help.
Getting queued up for help.
The best way, and the way that, you know, my support manager loves, is he loves this form right here. If you don't know information, just put don't know. It's more of just a collect to find out what's going on and get the baseline information. But something we just recently launched is a new chat module.
Woo!
Yay! So we do chat between 9 and 5 p.m. Okay, so you know, don't expect us to respond, you know, at 3:30 in the morning or anything like that. First thing we're going to do is just collect some information about you. It's actually it looks like a person, but it's a bot. Sorry, guys, but we're going to collect your information so we know how to reach back out to you, and then we dive into showing you how to authorize your Apex. We have a cool little video that plugs in and it shows you how to authorize us and all that kind of stuff.
Wow!
And then at that point, you've told us about your problem. Hopefully you authorized us, and if you're just having a connection issue, we'll send you off some videos on how to get connected.
What if I just need to talk to somebody, Paul?
Just give me a call, 408.
No, I just want to chat. I just want to chat about Apex. Can I just come on and just go, I really love the orange and gray.
This is not the purpose
No.
of the chat module.
No, okay.
Please do not. You've been that one. You've been that one who keeps on bothering us. So.
All right, well, this is great. It's great news. It's yet another way that you can get great support from Neptune Systems, and encourage you guys to use it. And, you know, you can always, social media, we always go out there too. Oh, you want to go back to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you.
We got to do the send-off properly here.
So, so definitely use all those methods. We try to stay in contact with all you guys, you know, through social media, Reef to Reef, Facebook, all of those avenues. Now you've got chat on support if you have an issue. You know, we're there for you, and we appreciate you guys being customers and coming here for Let's Talk Reef.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself, Terrence.
So now you all can basically get going with the, with the vacation, and that's it for this episode. Next week, 2 weeks, Kevin Cohen on the 20th, and until then,
come see us at RAP.
Oh yeah, at RAP next week.
Come and then see us at MACNA after that. We've got a busy couple weeks ahead of us, and let's do it.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take care until next time. Enjoy those fish.
See you guys.